that me and Juwan imagined in the comics, a really good portrayal of Ultron would be in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. The way they handle him in that show
Yeah,
is fantastic.
exactly.
And also this animated movie called The Next Avengers,
Yep.
which is absolutely incredible. If you want a heartless, cold Ultron, you watch that film and it is like, yeah, that's the Ultron that I think we can get now. Because honestly, I differ with Juwan about the portrayal of Ultron in Age of Ultron. I actually did enjoy that he did take on the personality of Tony Stark a little bit. I thought that was very interesting and how they adapted that from the source material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jawan for sure. If you've never seen it, watch Less Than Zero and tell me that James Spader version of Ultron would not be better because
Right.
he
Right.
might be the biggest bad guy of all time in
Yeah.
any movie I've ever seen in that film. He does your boy Tony Stark so wrong in that movie.
Sure does.
All right. We are. Wait a second. Sorry, guys. We are live on YouTube. Everyone, say hello to our YouTube community. I don't even
Hi,
know
everybody.
Hey,
if anyone's necessary.
What's going on?
We are saying hello to whoever is out there. We will be beginning. I don't know why that was the craziest tongue twist I've ever had.
There are no strings on you.
All right, so let's start this off, guys. Welcome to an all-new episode of Marvel Cinematic Review. We are the MCR of the MCU. We'll be breaking down episode 3 of WandaVision. I will say, me, Dom, and Tia, I believe, and Leo when he gets in here, we got to see this episode last week. So sitting on this, it was really hard. Dom, I don't know how hard it was for you, but when we were talking about episode 1 and 2, I was watching Leo because I think Leo thought at some points I was going to say something about episode 3. So like, if you guys go back and watch that live, Leo's looking at me like, shut up. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it, but like just sitting on that and wanting to talk about this for like a full 7 days was like the hardest thing ever.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you kept them
I
separate.
hate it. I hate doing it. But that's what tears me apart because you sit there and you're like, I'm not going to watch it because I have no one to talk to it about. And then the other part of you is like, but do you want to wait a full 7 days to watch the new episode with everybody else? And it's like, no, I don't. You know, I'll watch it and just, you know, suffer through not being able to talk with anybody. But as you guys see, we have a lot of faces here. One new face that will be with us going forward. But I want to get into some introductions. We'll have a few more people joining us. I'm sure Tia will fall in soon. Martin will be joining us soon. Actually, speaking of, Martin just joined us. But first off, I want to introduce the host of Kinda Nerdy Girls and Kinda Nerdy Dudes, KJ and Patrick. What's going on?
Hello.
what's up?
We're excited to be here again and talk about this third episode that you've been waiting so long to talk about.
So long.
So yeah, we don't have a huge introduction because I think we just want to get like right into it.
100%. So let me get through these so we can get right into it. Next up, I want to introduce one of the co-hosts of the Sports Bar podcast. And again, I said it last week, but I will say it forever. This man is the reason why I do not watch ESPN, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. I get all my sports from this man. What up, Prom?
Hey, what's up, Juwan? Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be here.
Absolutely. And then next up, the man that redefined, and I know I said this again before, but really did, what it meant to be a Batman fan. The guy that was retweeted by Matt Reeves himself. The host of the GOAT Movie Podcast. Angel, what's going on?
What's up, Juwan? Thanks for having me on again, guys. I cannot wait to talk about WandaVision episode 3. This was mind-boggling. So, man, thank you guys for having me again. It's going to be so exciting.
Absolutely. And huge shouts out to that drop in the back. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is.
Had to.
Perfect.
Had to do it. I didn't do it. You know what we're talking about today. You know who we're talking about today.
Oh, you already know. You already know, Angel. Me and Angel be texting each other all the time. We're right here. Next up, one of the hosts of the best hockey podcast in all of the world. I haven't really listened to any podcast that's outside of America, but I'm assuming it's the best all over the world. One of the hosts of Escape the Throats, Chris, what's going on?
Hey, man. Thank you guys so much for having me on. It's going to be an awesome show. I'm looking forward to it. We just dropped a new Escape the Throats episode, so that should be out soon. And, man, I'm excited to talk about WandaVision. I'm strangely obsessed with the show in a very weird way.
Right? I am super glad, and I'm glad we have you on, Chris. And I'm glad you love it, because I'm seeing too many people like, just get to the meat of it. And I'm like, no, I like this buildup. It's a mystery. It's it's like watching the first 5 minutes of Knives Out and then going, who did it? Just wait. Like, give it some time to get you there.
We've talked about that on other shows we've had about my obsession with mysteries in general, but this very Brady Bunch 70s feel I'm super digging.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just going to progress through the times, and that's just going to be super dope. Next up, first time to the Marvel Cinematic Review, and hopefully not the last time. Martin, what's going on, Martin?
Not much. Glad to be here. And to be honest with you, I came on this show for one reason and one reason only, and that was for you people to explain to me what the hell is going on with the thing. No, I have to say I dig the 70s. I dig the 70s thing because that is my decade. That was my time. Matter of fact, I wore half those clothes. I'm pretty sure. I'm here to learn. So here I am.
I appreciate that, and I hope that's. Excuse me. I hope a lot of people that are confused about what's going in tunes in for us to theorize about what we hope or think is going on. That we're probably wrong about, knowing Kevin Feige, but that's what we're here for. To give you what we think. And last but definitely not least, the man that will be hosting the Oscars one day, Mr. Tom Fisher. What's going on, Dom?
What's up, man? And I did feel the same way you felt the last episode. I was just sitting there biting my tongue like, okay, don't slip up. Don't say anything too early. And then, of course, with things I saw online, all I could tell people was like, it gets better. It gets better. So like, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, like, look, it gets better. Just wait. Just wait. Let it build a little bit.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a little bit of the process, what I almost leaked out to you guys, but luckily someone was talking over me, and then I immediately shut up. I was going to talk about the Monica Rambeau living room situation last week. It almost slipped. Someone said something about Ultron. Maybe I did or someone else did. And I was about to go right into it thinking that everybody else saw it like I did. And then someone was talking over me. And then my brain was like, hey, no one else has seen that. And I was like, right. That's so right.
Well, good thing you didn't, Juwan, because I would be Wanda and I would say, I think you should leave and do the
right.
Same thing.
And I would tap completely out. I did not want that. But like I told you guys, I try to make this a lot of fun by throwing in questions at the beginning of each episode. Last week was, I completely forgot what last week was. What was last week?
Who you thought
was a scroll?
Yeah.
Oh, who did you guys think was a scroll? There we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I forget my own stuff. Anyway, this week, the question is the MCU series, Disney Plus series you guys are most looking forward to. As before, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, so I'll start it off. Patrick and Angel will know the reasoning behind why I picked this show because we talked about it before. But I'm going Armor Wars, the show that we know Don Cheadle will be reprising his role as Rhodey, aka War Machine. And the reason why that show is a necessity for me is because, one, I want to see Justin Hammer back. I want to see Justin Hammer back.
Yes.
He was literally the only thing I hang my hat on from Iron Man 2. That and the fact that I can almost guarantee you no one Russian says birds like that.
Yeah. I want my blood.
I don't speak Russian.
Someone that's Russian is definitely watching that movie like, no, that is not a
I didn't know bird had a W in it, even in a Russian
dialect.
It was great.
It was like, okay, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke definitely showed up to set one day and was like, I looked at nothing Russian. Here's what I got. But Armor Wars is up there for me for Justin Hammer. But the biggest reason I'm looking forward to Armor Wars is obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, the story behind Armor Wars is in the comics, when Stark's technology gets into the wrong hands, there's a huge bidding war for it, fighting to steal the secrets of Stark. I believe the person that will be behind Justin Hammer trying to acquire Stark's technology will be the same very person who bought the Avengers Tower in New York City, and that's none other than Norman Osborn. I believe Norman will shoe in to make himself the next billionaire playboy of New York, of the technology industry, and that'll be how he gets the comic book accurate armor that we see him wearing in the comics from Rhodey. I do believe he will steal it from Rhodey, but Norman Osborn, I believe, will be behind the scenes in Armor Wars, and if that happens, all of my brain will completely explode out of my head. And I'll love it. The idea that he's replacing Tony Stark, and I'll throw it out there again. There are two people I would love to see as Norman Osborn. One is Jude Law. The other one is Matthew McConaughey.
Wow.
I would love to see either one of those guys take on Norman Osborn. And honestly, we haven't seen Peter Parker have a rival his age. We're used to that. I would love to see them bring us a Harry Osborn that's giving Peter a run for his money, especially if they go into Peter going to college and Harry's the new hotshot moving from LA to New York. His dad's this big wig and he's the new kid on campus. I would love that. I would truly love that. And we see Harry Osborn instead of Norman turn into the Ultimate Goblin, which if you guys read the Ultimate comics, that's more of the monster and less of him on the glider. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Armor Wars. That's the show that I'm picking. Next up, I'll go to you, Angel. What's the Disney Plus Marvel series that you're looking forward to the most?
Man, that's a great pick that you had, Juwan. That makes me even more excited for Armor Wars. I can't wait to see that. If Norman Osborn really comes in that show, it's going to be absolutely incredible and mind-blowing. Honestly, as you were mentioning Matthew McConaughey and Jude Law for your choices, I couldn't help but think about Justin Theroux from American Psycho and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. I think that'd be a pretty cool choice too, especially if they want to get that kind of billionaire playboy, kind of like Tony Stark. I could totally see Justin Theroux do it too. I'm excited for that show, but I think for me, the show that I am most anticipated for and the show that I think will do the best on the Disney Plus series is definitely going to be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think from that trailer, for me, that one looked the most cinematic, and I can't wait to see how the legacy of the Cap shield and symbol is going to be carried on with Sam and Bucky. I can't wait to see their dynamic, and I just think the set pieces look absolutely insane. So I think that one would do the best, to be honest.
No, 100%. And I told you what got me excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier is seeing that Madripoor is being introduced, knowing that Madripoor is a huge Wolverine town. I even had the theory to play off of your idea with the whole rumor of Chris Evans coming back. I was watching his interview with, I think, Scarlett Johansson, where it was like actors interviewing actors. And he was saying it has to be something important for Cap to come back. Like, I'm not just doing it for the fans or because it's a cash grab. It has to be something important to the story of Cap. And I immediately thought, what if Captain America is how we get Wolverine? And that Wolverine existed in that timeline. Because the original director for the first Avengers said he was going to put a guy in there named James Howlett. When he was releasing the Commandos, he was going to throw a guy in there and name that. But obviously Fox wouldn't let him do that. So I'm like, could you picture if Weapon X was created right before Winter Soldier, and Winter Soldier, and we see a movie where it's Wolverine with Bucky and the other members of Weapon X, and Captain America's trying to take them down. And that was the first time he ran into the Winter Soldier. Woo!
Man.
Chill.
Yeah, dude, that would give me chills. I mean, if we get to hear Old Man Steve say like, I knew someone named Logan, I would lose my absolute mind. If we get to see like a flashback of him and Logan possibly freeing Eric Lensher, Magneto, from the concentration camps, I feel like that would be such an epic way to introduce the X-Men, to communicate to the audience that they've been here the whole time. But yeah, this is going to be my most anticipated show. I also want to mention Wyatt Russell as U.S. agent in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's Kurt Russell's son. I think he is such a fantastic actor, and I can't wait to see him basically play the negative propaganda version of Captain America. I think he's going to knock it out of the park.
100%, 100%. And someone pointed this out to me. If you look at the shield at the end of Endgame, it's a newer shield than the one Cap had been like the one that Stark brought him. It's a newer one. Yeah. So a lot of people are theorizing maybe there's some, and a lot of people are saying that shield is made from like a form of adamantium. And a lot of people are theorizing maybe there's different functions of this shield. Like it's not just a regular shield that Cap used. Like there's different functions to it. And I'm like, oof. Next up, Dom, I'm gonna pass it over to you. What Marvel series are you looking forward to the most?
I think it's probably gonna have to be Moon Knight. And it's for a reason that like I had always seen the character. I think I had read like maybe 2 comics as a kid from comic books that were passed down from my uncle. And then after that, he wasn't one that I saw on a regular basis in the comic book store. And so I want to know more. I think that there's a lot of potential with a character like that. Seeing the imagery, seeing that it could be a darker type show without maybe some of the levity that we're used to in a lot of the Marvel things. And I mean, Oscar Isaac, who doesn't want to see more Oscar Isaac? So I think it is going to be great. It just depends on how far they let them push that like TV 14 rating, because I feel like it is one that since they own Hulu, it could have been one of those series that they transferred over there so you can do kind of whatever you want to. But sometimes you get better things when you have to operate within certain parameters. So I think it could be really good.
Yeah, I'll say this. Everyone that's been asking about Punisher, everyone that's been asking about Blade, everyone that's been asking about Ghost Rider, Deadpool, Moon Knight is step 1 in us getting what we call the dark universe in the Marvel world. So first comes Moon Knight, then Blade, then we'll see people like Wolfman, Ghost Rider, and then somewhere in that mix, because if some of these shows are catered a little bit more towards an R rating, not necessarily a hard R, but close to it, Frank Castle will pop up in one of those few characters right there. And I can almost guarantee, I see Tia just popped in. I can almost guarantee you we will be hearing from the grizzled vet himself, John Bernthal.
Yes. Johnny B.
Yes.
As the Punisher.
I hopped in just at the right moment.
Tia was literally sitting at home like, I feel John Bernthal being talked about. But no, yeah, Moon Knight's going to be a great show. They casted an amazing villain. I still haven't really heard Oscar Isaac really talk much about it. But then again, we haven't heard Feige confirm him. But they start shooting soon. So it's like, you have to have a Moon Knight. Like, you can't shoot Moon Knight without Moon Knight. So I can't wait to see what he looks like. Are we going to get the Moon Knight with the mask and the all white suit? How insane is Moon Knight going to get? Oh, just thinking about that. God. It's just so crazy. He's creating shows that you look at and you're just like, they're movie quality, like, do I need movies or shows just the way of the future? But yeah, really good pick, Dom. Prime, I'll go to you next. What series are you looking forward to the most?
Man, well, probably Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love that Moon Knight pick. It's long overdue in my opinion, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, of course. Good to see Daniel Brühl. He'll be back as Baron Zemo. Looking forward to that. But I would have to say, since nobody mentioned it, a very, very close second would be just the What If, because I grew up heavy on the What If comics and all the great stuff that we could get with that. We could get what if Cap hadn't vanished after World War II. What if Loki, had found the hammer instead of Thor? It's just crazy. All the storylines we could get out of that. We already got some idea what we're going to see. What if Peggy Carter had been a super soldier, whatever. But I'm really looking forward to that as well, and I'm loving the fact that they're doing it in animated form.
Yeah, I mean, I really do hope that this What If takes off because a lot of people say they're biting, but I really do wish that if this is like a hit, we could see Star Wars do one because Star Wars has way more What If theories than Marvel could ever dream. And then I do want to hear some DC ones. I think DC has some really heavy hitters, but the main reason why What If is going to be special to me, Prime, is it's the last time we'll hear Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther.
Indeed.
Or T'Challa, rather. T'Challa, I'm sorry. T'Challa. So to me, that's very important. It's something we can hang on to going forward. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great What Ifs that you could have out there. Like
yeah. And I love it too. A lot of people say they could be biting, but the original What If comics came out. We talking like 30 years ago or so. So something that they've been doing, it is bringing it to the screen.
Yeah.
So I want to see some new stories. I like to see them go back and take some of the old stories that they had. So, but if Falcon and Winter Soldier is my one, then What If is probably 1A.
Yeah, no, for sure. KJ, Patrick, I go to you guys. What Marvel series are you guys looking forward to the most?
Yeah, like Dom said, I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with Moon Knight because that's just a character that not enough people know about, but there's so much to discover with Moon Knight. There's so much you can do. I would say that I was looking most forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier just because I love Captain America, and that's the comic that I spent the most time with. Those are the characters that I know the most. But I was really, really excited when that last trailer came out for Loki. I really was like, oh, it'll be cool to have a Loki show. I think when they first announced it, they were talking about that it may be animated and Tom would be narrating. So it really wasn't on my radar until that trailer came out. Seeing that story, being able to know like when he disappears, what happens, that's a story I want to know. So I think that's going to be really cool. I think, Tom Hiddleston has done a good job in that role of making us really love him as a villain, and he's going to be able to really shine in that storyline. So like I said, I mean, in the beginning when they announced everything, it's been like Falcon and Winter Soldier, and obviously I'm excited about it, but I'm really excited to see what they do with Loki.
Yeah, that show, it has huge implications. It's supposed to be the first time we see Kang the Conqueror. And the rumor has it, it's not the guy they just casted. So I mean, I'm throwing it out there that who's going to be the Kang for that show, if the rumor is even true, but who's supposed to be the Kang for that show is Richard something. He was in the last Star Wars movie. I can't think of his name. Richard E. Grant, I think.
Oh, yeah. He was Vice Admiral Pride in Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Yep. I think
the great intelligence from Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be Kang the Conqueror in Loki show. That then somehow time is manipulated that maybe someone else becomes Kang, and that'll be who we know in the Ant-Man and Wasp third movie. I'm not saying that ridiculous name, but so
that name's amazing.
That show is going to have huge implications, and it gives us the biggest answer that a lot of us had. The question to is Loki. Loki going through time, it messes up stuff. So, what does time look like now with him doing all this craziness?
Right.
Quantum Mania. Okay, Angel forced me to.
Let's go.
It's a great name. I don't know why you're hating, Joanne.
Passion.
Let me tell you something, brother.
It legit
I got you for 3 minutes.
It legit felt like they were sitting in the room and the writers were just like, all right, like here's good names, here's names that are bad, and then here's names that are good. Feige was like, all right, let me see the not sure of mix, and then he was like, Quantum Mania. Okay, like they just like, okay, we'll go with it. But Patrick, what series are you looking forward to the most?
Mine is exactly the same answer as hers. As a matter of fact, I got interested when she interviewed Chad Michael Collins because his favorite comic was Moon Knight, and I knew nothing about him. And so I think that's, since I know nothing about Moon Knight, I think that's why I'm looking the most forward to it, because it's someone new that that Marvel can work their magic with and like really get me involved with it. And then Falcon Winter Soldier, obviously, but I mean, I'm kind of Hawkeye. Everyone bags on Hawkeye. I like Hawkeye.
Love Hawkeye.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, like, as far as immediate, like for the immediate future, it's Loki coming out.
Yeah. No, and Tia definitely gives Hawkeye way more slack than she should.
What? Wait a second.
Hawkeye does not deserve all the slack he has been getting since the beginning of time when he first. You know what confuses me the most? Everyone's like, "Oh, Hawkeye again. We need more of Hawkeye." But they're the same people that will tell you how important Black Widow is to the MCU, and it's like, what?
Hashtag free Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'm like, if we have one, the others should be there. Like, what are we talking about?
I should have been the one that fell off the cliff, but I'm just keep my mouth shut after that.
What?
Shouldn't have been Natasha. Yeah. Should not have been Natasha.
I am with you, and I do love Hawkeye, but I am totally with you.
Okay, I'm gonna go to you next. But here's the crazy thing about that logic. Black Widow has no more story to tell. The proof is in the pudding. Her movie is a prequel to where we are now. Hawkeye has a whole nother person he's raising to be the future of the Avengers. He's necessary. He also helped start the West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye has so much reasoning to being alive. Natasha has none.
All right, let me explain really quick. I'll make it quick why my dislike of Hawkeye emerged.
Wish I had some popcorn right now.
Because I did not dislike Hawkeye in the first Thor movie. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then in the first Avengers movie, I was like, oh, this is cool. I love his dynamic with Natasha and everything, blah, blah, blah.